So we're going to do a bit of soldering. So all we're going to concentrate on is pre-solder fittings. Okay, it's the next job that comes up on your page. So with the pre-solder fittings, you have a ring of solder inside these already. Okay, the solder that's in there is all you need. Okay, they put in an excess amount into those because if they don't put in enough, then you run out and the joint won't seal. What's the point in having that? Okay, they're more expensive than the end feed ones, which are like these. Okay, they're more expensive than the end feed ones because they have the solder in them already. Yeah, so you don't want. We're not using these ones here. We will at a later stage. But any of the ones that we have there are 15 now and they're loose on the copper. See how loose they are? Okay, they're harder to actually solder up as well. They don't stay straight, but these ones just go straight in. They're made for Irish copper. Okay, and they're made 15 now. So there's two things that we need to be careful of here, right? You can't just put the pipe in and solder because there's impurities. That copper is now discoloured. Okay, there's impurities starting to get a patina on it, right? So we need to clean off any impurities. There's also a layer of grease and stuff on it, and that will stop the solder from when it melts to adhere to the pipe and adhere to the inside of the fitting and onto the pipe as well. Okay, so how do we get rid of the impurities? We use two things. Okay, you have wire wool in your kit. Okay, I've got these. It's pretty much the same. Excuse me, same thing. It's just a little wire brush that you push the pipe in. Looks like a pipe cutters. Push the pipe in. Around we go. Okay, and it cleans off the end. You can see the end how it's changing colour. All right. It's a good idea to go around the pipe with your wire wool and not this way. Okay. If you go lengthways, the wire wool puts tiny little scratches in the pipe as well. Okay. So if you go this way, it makes a tendency for the solder to run in that direction as well. Okay. But if it's that way, it'll make a tendency for the solder to run around the pipe. Okay. So make sure it's good and clean. Okay. And each of the fittings are cleaned up, or each of the piece of pipe that's going to go in. If this is a T, so we're going to have 3 pieces in it. Okay. Make sure they're all cleaned up nice and smooth. Okay. So that's the first thing that we're going to do to get rid of any impurities. You should also, wherever you can, get in there with a bit of wire wool and clean the inside of the fittings as well. Okay. They can be sitting out in the door, out here. Gathering those all sorts of stuff like that. Very hard to get into the half-inch ones and stuff like that. And this one is not going to be holding water or anything, so we don't really need to do much. But the other thing is, we put flux on. Flux will burn your skin. Okay, this is one of the things that cause dermatitis in the class. So what we're doing is, I gave you all the half-inch brush. Okay, use your brush. Put a little bit of flux inside of the fitting. Okay, so inside, run it around on all of the connections. Okay, and then the same on the pipe. Okay, you don't need a huge amount. Okay, all you need is about that much. Right, and we put them into the fittings. One thing that is important is if I solder the 2 of those now, I won't get a piece of pipe into that solder. Exactly, because the solder in the middle one runs. Okay, so if you're doing any fittings, make sure if you're doing a fitting here, all of them should be connected up. If you're doing 2 fittings that are very close to each other, have it all made up as well, because the heat change travels from one to the other very quickly. Okay, very rapid. Okay, we only need a light bit of heat for these, yeah? Just a very light bit of heat. So we don't need the intense heat of the gas, of the oxyacetylene. So we're going to use turbo gas, turbo torch, okay? So there's turbo gas in your kits. stick your turbo torch on it, okay? Open the valve, put it on, hold in position. If you're going to solder this now, okay, what happens is that flux starts to boil and it starts to spit, okay? So you're down close to it with your eyes, that goes into your eyes, it's going to burn your eyes, okay? So you make sure that you wear your safety glasses when you're doing it. Yeah. Hope you should have our safety glasses on. All of them. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. The reason I'm going to do that is, if I start at the bottom, the heat will, the solder will run towards the heat. Okay, it runs towards the heat in a called capillary traction, right? And then I'm going to work my way up, and that will mean that the solder won't run out of the bottom one, it'll go up to the top, and then up to the top one again. If you're doing ones that are different sizes, so if you're doing 1 inch, 3/4, ½ inch, always try and start with the largest size, whether it's up the top or down the bottom. Start with the larger one and work your way down in the size, because the larger one's going to need more heat, and by the time you do the larger one, sometimes the smaller one is already done. Okay, so you're going to want to come in a little bit closer than that for this. Okay, I'm going to look for just a tiny little ring just to pop right around the top of this. Okay, I'm going to heat the pipe and the fitting a little bit, and then I'm just going to go on and off with the heat. It's a very gentle heat. Okay, depending on how quick you want to do it, you can turn up the heat, but you have to get the heat away very quickly then as well. All right, so we'll just do a gentle heat. All the way around the pipe, and there's the ring. So you want to go in there and see? Can you see underneath there? A little ring, okay. Now I'll move up to this one, and I shouldn't need much heat. It definitely won't take as long because it's already got heat in the pipe, and the heat travels along through convection. There's the second one. Okay, if you come closer, you'll see it just popping. See that? Yeah. You can even blow it just as it comes up, and that cools it right really quickly. And that's all you need. Okay? So that's it. Now that